the things that you see are their talented athletes are out there competing in 7-on-7s. They're getting seen constantly, and the buzz kind of builds around them. And do I think that parlays into a great season? I don't know. You know, you look back at the Cam Newton tournament and Lanier wins. I'm one that's cheering the inner city Montgomery schools to continue their jump up like they had last year. But Lanier hasn't had a really good football team since when?
It's been a long time. It's been a really long time since they were in their heyday of winning state championships.
But what it tells me is they're working at it. And when you're out there in 7-on-7s and you're putting the time in to get your kids and travel around and the expense that goes into that, Brett, that's a good thing.
I do think 7-on-7s are really, really good. And sometimes you see a translation in the success in a 7-on-7 into a season. I've also seen several times where you've got teams that go and win these tournaments and they do nothing during the season. You know, it shows you how important that trench play is, that offensive and defensive line. You can have outstanding skill guys and you can have a great quarterback and throw it around, but if you don't have those middle parts, it's a tough deal. But we'll talk some more about high school football because, man, we're just a few weeks out from the start. We can go down and look at some teams that we feel like might have a chance to make some noise.
Throw one up there. Listen to me. Thompson High School.
You really feel like
write it down? Yes, it's coming this year.
I'll have to. You think so?
Yes. Quarterback in. Transfer in quarterback changes everything.
Yeah.
Not only that, they got the student body, they got the enrollment, they got a coach that can get it done.
They've always had the enrollment.
A couple of years. Write it down. Thompson High School this year, 7-on-7s, they have been exceptionally good.
Well,
I saw yesterday in a 7-on-7 they beat Spanish Fort 28-8. That's skill against skill. They'll figure it out when you've got the enrollment numbers and you got a coach like Coach Freeman. They're going to figure out the trenches. They're going to work at it.
Yeah.
You already know going in. If you got a quarterback that can make the difference, and they do this year, watch out for him.
Yeah, and they've been one that we've been watching for a few years since he's been there to try to build up. And they were close in some games last year, didn't quite finish where he wanted to, but it's a work in progress because Thompson really hasn't had any tradition or past in football up there. They've been one of the schools that
struggle in that region.
They regularly finish toward the bottom of that region. So the thing about Birmingham area and that area of the state, all of those schools have those numbers. All of those schools have a lot of talent. So, you can show up and you can be a good football team, but you can finish middle to the bottom part down. So let's talk about SEC Media Days, ACC Media Days. Houston Nutt, he files a lawsuit against Ole Miss as if Ole Miss doesn't need.
What's this all about?
Well, because he never did find employment, and he feels like that his character was ruined. They blamed everything that went on him, and there were some reporters that came out with some stuff that said the mess that was at Ole Miss was relegated to what he did, and it all started back then. So we'll dive off into that, talk about that. I want your take on the All-Star game, the American League versus National League, Major League All-Star game on Tuesday night. Another pitching-dominated game, 2-1. Victory for the American League. It's funny to see the runs scored over the history of this game and the amount of wins are even, but the American League has dominated this game the last 20 years.
I'll quickly throw something out there, and I know we got 4 or 5 minutes left here on this segment. Baseball's changing, and it's almost like guerrilla ball again. When you watch these teams play, hitting for average is something you don't talk about a lot. But getting up there and having the ability to put the ball out of the park, and I watch Josh Donaldson. Do you watch him talk much? I get caught up at night watching him talk.
Oh yeah.
And he talks about wasted swings a lot, and coaches teaching. You ever heard A to C?
Oh yeah.
Good old A to C swing. He said that's the biggest hock of baloney he's ever heard. That's great.
Yeah.
Hit the ball. He said, but if I go up to the plate and I'm swinging A to C and I'm knocking the ball into the ground, I'm not helping my team. He said, I got to drive the ball. I got to drive the ball out of the park. It's my role. And the reason I bring that up, Brett, is the pitching has really taken a step up. When you throw Scherzers and some of these guys up there, a run or two is the only thing winning it, and most of those are coming on a long ball.
Well,
or one mess up that you've got to take advantage of.
Did you hear the announcers in the All-Star game? They talked about why it's 2-1, and you don't see base hits in Major League Baseball anymore. You see it a lot. They're on pace to set another record home runs this year. But it's either these guys get up there. You watch the averages, the batting averages as a whole. People making the All-Star team batting 250, 246. They got 17, 18 home runs. They got 45, 47 RBIs. Whereas even back in the 90s, a lot of the guys making the All-Star team would have over 300 batting averages, and they'd be hitting, maybe 7 to 15 home runs, but their average would be a lot better. There's a lot of strikeouts and a lot of home runs in Major League Baseball right now. So it's either all or none. They either get a hold of these guys that are max effort pitchers, and that's why you see a lot of them hurting their arm and stuff, like Houston Astros, their pitching staff as a whole. Almost every one of their pitchers, Randy, that are starters, are max effort guys. Talked to a guy this past week and said, look, that does not lend itself for you to be healthy at the end of the year going into the playoffs. We've seen it with Strasburg so many times at Washington. He didn't make it to the end of the season. He's not giving Washington what they need when it comes time to make hay. So a lot of things to discuss on that. The home run derby, Aaron Judge, I don't know, man. Guy 6'7", weighs 280 pounds. And his swing on Sports Science the other day, they talk about it. I mean, when you're that big, it looks like he's hitting the ball effortlessly. He's like just up there easy swing, and opposite field home runs are flying out of the park.
He's a LeBron James playing baseball.
He is.
He chose baseball.
I know. He was just as good in basketball and football, by the way.
Three-sport star in all three of them, playing skill positions. That
I
tells
know.
you about
Tight
6'7",
end in football.
280. Almost 17 touchdowns in football, almost 1,000 yards receiving.
That's right.
There at tight end.
Basketball,
I think
double-double.
He was a 23-18 guy, first team All-State.
How could he not be? Look at him.
True, but it's skill though. He's a different cat. I like seeing pictures of him.
Yeah.
Matched up to the normal baseball player swinging a bat, I would guess is between 5'10" and 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
Would that be your?
Probably.
He's 6'7", and I'll watch him stand up to some that are Pedroia size, and you'll see 5'6", 5'7" up there standing up against 6'7", 6'8". It's mind-boggling to see the difference in sizes of humans that can get to that top level. It tells you that there is no real reason. I mean, you can be 5'6", 5'7", swing a bat well enough, hit the ball out of the park, or you can be 6'7", 6'8". Or Dave Winfield's the only one we've ever seen around that size.
Oh, I know it.
That has played
that
this
massive.
way.
That's that massive, and they were even two totally different styles of players. We'll talk about that some more. Wimbledon coming down the end. You're talking about Roger Federer and Venus Williams. Always strong names, but just like you and I, we're getting older, so you don't expect those guys to keep hanging around. But both of them still in the tournament, coming down the stretch, could possibly be in the championship. You could have Venus, and I hate to say it, she kind of benefited from her sister not being there, her sister being pregnant. But I mean, look, you take Serena Williams out, Venus is just as good as anybody left in the tournament. But when we come back, we'll start off with SEC Media Days. Not starting off as exciting as normal, but then picked up a little steam toward the end of the week with some things that may have not been said about some teams or some mentions, and then some predictions that are out there from the media. All of our crew will be making their predictions over the next few weeks on how we feel like the season will play out for all these SEC teams. But again, it comes down to who is going to knock Alabama off, because it's really Alabama and the rest of the field to this point. We can talk about all this stuff, but Alabama has separated themselves over the last 4 to 5 years from the rest of the pack. Let's just be honest about it. So we'll talk about that, plus a ton more, and of course our great friend Andy Graham, who's not here today. We're going to have some games that we'll play. That's just the way it is now with Sports Blitz. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's and Sunshine Heating and Air right after this.
verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime at the all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Every new and pre-owned vehicle, just $1 down. Plus credit amnesty. Bring home $350 a week, get up to $30,000 in credit.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime.
10 acres, 1,000 vehicles, just $1 down.
Folks, you've just got to see this place.
The all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Call 800-NEXT-RIDE.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Ready to put some fun in your life? Whether it's Central or East Alabama, North Alabama, West Georgia, or wherever you're from, Fun Carts of Opelika is your authorized E-Z-GO kart dealer that has no limits on a perfect E-Z-GO kart. Whether it's a fully customized kart or a stock-made kart, we'll deliver it on time and at the best price. Fun Carts gives you the service after the sale, so no matter if it's hunting, tailgating, motorhoming, fleet rental, or just a better way to get around, Fun Carts of Opelika has it and will customize it to your needs. Visit us in Opelika or call us or visit online for the best E-Z-GO karts. Put a little fun in your life with Fun Carts of Opelika.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Hi, this is Quinn Harrelson with Interlink Mortgage in Auburn, Alabama. There are 1,000 different questions people ask me every day about mortgage loans. They ask about buying investment homes, primary homes, and even second homes at the lake or the beach. I only have a limited time to say, call me and let's talk about what you want and how I can help you get it. Again, win with Quinn and call me today at 256-675-6259 so I can help structure a mortgage that best fits you and your family's needs.
Welcome back, everyone. Here's Saturday Sports Countdown. Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee here with you. Don't get a chance to be together very much. Andy's usually the anchor. Luke's usually swapping in and out with all three of us swapping in and out. But it is summertime, and I'm sure we'll hear from Luke at some point in time today. It's SEC Media Days, man. I mean, I'm sure he'll figure out a way. But want to thank Interlink Mortgage down in Auburn. A good friend of ours, Quinn Harrelson. Man, I've been impressed with his rise in the business world, and I'm a little biased. He was an ambassador under me, so it's all that training you got, and that direction he received when he was at CAC. But seriously, glad to have them on board. They'll be our Lee County Player of the Week. I told Quinn on the phone this week. I said, here's a pretty good first Lee County Player of the Week for them to start off with, and we'll go backwards for a second and talk about some high school football. LaDamian Webb commits to Mississippi State. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about, here's Auburn, here's Alabama. They're sitting there and neither one offers him. How many times have we seen really good football players leave the state of Alabama and go excel? And sometimes that's better for them. And not necessarily going over to Auburn or going up Tuscaloosa may be the fit for LaDamian Webb. Now, could he play at both? Yeah, I feel like he could. But sometimes you need to blaze your own path. And LaDamian Webb and so many other players that have gone to Georgia or Kentucky or Ole Miss or wherever it is that they've moved on to have gone and excelled. And, you know, Darius Philon goes to Arkansas, you know, grows up a long-time Alabama fan, really felt like he was going to go to Alabama, and the gray shirt situation happened. And, you know, he's not bitter about it now. He was disappointed. It was his dream. He thought he was going to play at Alabama. But he said, look, man, I'm just going to go to Arkansas. And really his best game every year was against Alabama. So, you know, LaDamian Webb, he's got one more year here against Beauregard. We'll see him up close and personal again. I've never seen anything like that state championship game that I flash back. And Beauregard, a very talented team, but man, I think he set a record in the championship game running the football. Randy.
I think he had 54 carries.
I was going to say 52, but I knew it was over 50.
Or like 354 yards.
Golly, man.
And he really never had, until the end of the game, a breakout run of 30 to 40 yards.
It was just that
they were all
constant
7,
pound.
8, 10, 11, 3, 4 yards. And they play, you know, it's crazy when you look back and you have 50-plus carries with 350-plus yards and you think that the defense didn't play well. I thought that defense got after him all night.
They did.
They were physical and tried, but he is – and I'm heading over to Beauregard to hopefully catch up with him this next week. And he and Coach Carter, that Beauregard team took a step in the next direction, which was a state championship last year. But they've been knocking on the door for a decade.
They have.
They've got a very well put together program that goes back even before Coach Carter, that they have been right there on the cusp. But when you get a Webb that offensively you can get into a game like they did against a team that is willing and physical to hang with you, then you got somebody just to hang your hat on. And that's what they did last year. They said, look, we're going to try to win a state championship, and we know we got the best player out here, and we're going to ride him. What impresses you the most about him? And let me start. His balance. You can't get him down. And I feel like you got him tackled multiple times. He only weighs 185, 190 pounds. He doesn't look small.
Didn't play that way, though.
He's, 5'6", 5'7", 185, 190. So that's
right.
well put together as a 17, 18-year-old kid. But I felt like even in the Benjamin Russell game, which completely got away from us, but nonetheless it's the same as most, he'd be down 8 yards down the field, I'd feel like, and he'd somehow keep his balance and he'd be 50 more yards.
You know, there's certain players that you've seen over the years that you've never seen them go down on first contact. I don't think I've ever seen, and I've called a couple of Benjamin Russell games against him. I've seen him in some other games on TV, the game of the week, and I've been blessed to call him with you in some state, you know, in the state championship game this past year. I don't think I've ever seen him go down where a guy beat his man off the line of scrimmage, got in the backfield and grabbed him and put him down. Even guys that beat their guy and get him one-on-one, he still breaks the tackle or shakes loose or bounces off and kind of drags them. You know how you don't quite get a good clean hit on them. The thing that impresses me the most is that Beauregard said, we're going to give him the ball on almost every down. I mean, listen, how many times do you snap the ball in high school in offense?
I would guess in that game they probably
75,
maybe to 80.
So he got 54 carries out of 75 plays offensively.
And you
That's
wonder
basically saying, look, this ain't no chess match. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And if you can stop him, then you get to beat us in the state championship game, and they couldn't do it. And that's the thing, the endurance level, number one, putting your team on your back like that and saying, hey, I'm just going to ride this guy, and if it don't work, it don't work. So he's
good luck matching up with him.
But congratulations to him on committing to Mississippi State. Mississippi State's getting a very good football player that can have a major impact over there in the backfield.
I'll agree with you, though. It's easy to get caught up when we do what we do and we watch some of these kids, and I'm sure if you go to the state of Mississippi, Georgia, Louisiana, you get caught up with the kids in your state.
You do.
So you have to kind of take a step back and realize that not all become superstars that we let out of the state. A lot of them don't.
No, they don't. They don't all become.
But I think Mississippi State
is
getting a great player. It's a good feel for them.
De'Runnya Wilson.
Do I think Auburn or Alabama could have taken him and done something? Yeah, but it's still a question mark on where you're going to play him. Is he going to be a tailback in the SEC?
He will be for them.
Alabama?
He will be at Mississippi State, not at Auburn or Alabama probably. And again, it's not a cut on him.
Yeah.
His talent, his ability, he's already proven that. He's an SEC type player. Hey, look, there's some guys, I won't mention any names, but there's some guys 2 years ago that we felt like were SEC players that didn't get picked by an SEC team. Okay? So, and do I think after
where
watching...
they ended? Well, I think several of them. You and I went over and called Alabama-Mississippi game 2 years ago.
Yes.
And I think Mississippi State picked up 5 or 6 from in-state.
Oh, I know.
That were over there. And they're still there. That's only been a couple of years.
I mean, you watch some of these kids, you and I get to see them, our group gets to see these kids, and then I get to see who some of our in-state schools pick. And look, everybody's not perfect. Nick Saban's not perfect. Outside of, I know that's a shocker, everybody. I know everybody doesn't think, but Gus Malzahn's not. I mean, all these coaches, you can only pick 25 kids a year. And, you only have what you go off of, all the research and what your coach is scouting, your needs and stuff like that. So everybody can't come to you. You can't give a scholarship to everybody. There are going to be, this state's loaded per capita for its population with great, outstanding players that are going to go other places and play against your in-state teams. It just is what it is. But you think about some of the ones you do have, and you go, man, I wish we'd have had him instead of him, because you know what kind of player. But a lot of times you're closer to some kids than others, and you're a little bit biased. But I just wanted to mention that. We're going to go to another break. When we do come back, we will start with media days. But again, LaDamian Webb, a lot of these players for these high schools coming back, there's some talent in this state this year, and it's going to be interesting to see who gets recruited and who signs with who. But I think this year could be one of the best years for talent in a long time in this state. Top to bottom. Yeah, it is. There's a lot of talented players out there this year. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air right after this.
If you've ever wanted a Lexus, now is your opportunity at the Reinhardt Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. The time of the year to get savings on the Lexus you want. With extra inventory, the selection is better than ever on the most popular models. Save thousands with low monthly payments and special financing. Get 0% APR on the ES for 60 months. At Reinhardt Lexus, an opportunity like this only knocks once a year. So find your Lexus today at Reinhardt Lexus, where you'll feel like family.
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Relief has a new address in Alexander City. Main Street Family Urgent Care is now open across from Walmart on Highway 280. From cuts, broken bones, strep throat, and flu, they can help you heal and feel better fast. Open 8 to 8 Monday through Friday, 8 to 6 on Saturday, and 1 to 6 on Sunday.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
TPE Power Equipment is now the trusted name for all your mower and power equipment needs. Whether it's our original Tallahassee location or Opelika location on Fredericks Road, we've got East Alabama covered with the best brands of mowers and power equipment from Husqvarna, Toro, Kawasaki, Echo, and Honda. Right now, get commercial strength Husqvarna zero-turn mowers with our fleet program that offers deep discounts, easy finance, and bonus handheld equipment in one solid package. TPE of Opelika and Tallahassee are the new standard of everything power equipment in East Alabama.
Homeowners all over Alabama have discovered that when you need your flooring clean, whether it's carpet, upholstery, or any manner of hard surfaces, there's no clean like Peaches and Clean. Serving Auburn, the Chattahoochee Valley, Montgomery, Birmingham, and the Lake Martin area. Call 866-837-6937. 866-837-6937. Or visit peachesandclean.com. Caring for your floor and a whole lot more.
There's no clean like
Heads up, we're going back to 77. Disco, bell-bottoms, and Ford F-Series starts its epic run as the best-selling trucks in America. Fast forward to 2017, F-Series is still king for 40 straight years. How? Rock-solid durability, up to the nanosecond technology, and jaw-dropping capability. No wonder the competition hasn't been number one since these. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 40 straight years.
Bucks Island is one of the oldest boat dealers in Alabama, serving boaters since 1948 with the largest boat showroom in the state. Bass boats featuring Skeeter, cruisers and sport boats featuring Monterey, pontoons featuring Crest, G3 and Voyagers, powered by Mercury and Yamaha. Bucks Island has sold over 10,000 boats and with a full service and parts and accessories department to keep your boat in top condition. Don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote. Visit Bucks Island on Highway 77 in Southside or online at bucksisland.com. Give them a call at 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island, where our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating in there. At this time, I want to go to the phone lines, and the poem that was written, "The Road Less Traveled." This guy right here, I don't know if there's any roads left to travel for him. Our very own Luke Robinson on the phone, somewhere between here and Timbuktu. Luke, thanks so much for being on the program this morning.
The only road that I don't ever get to travel is my driveway.
That's the one that's less traveled, right? Hey, the life of someone that has to travel for business, it just is what it is, and get to go, and then every once in a while you want to try to go on vacation, so you have to travel to there, and there's just a lot of traveling in all of our lives, but I think you've got us topped. Although I've got a pretty long haul in a few weeks, I got to drive to above Minneapolis to a place I've never heard of. And you've been so many places, maybe you've heard of it. Have you ever heard of Bemidji, Minnesota, Luke?
I've never heard of it, but it's funny you say that because I'm going to Minneapolis at the end of this month. So maybe I'll meet you up there. You going fishing?
The fishing team will be there in the national championship game. I won't actually be fishing, but Central Alabama Community College will be representing our state and our college, obviously, in the college bass national championship up there in a place called Lake Bemidji in Bemidji, Minnesota, which is about an hour north of Minneapolis. So looking forward to that. Would be pretty cool to.
I'm gonna tell you this, Brett. I'm not going to even recognize the fishing national championship until they go to a playoff. So I'm just going to look at it that way.
Yeah. Hey, already starting the controversy on all this this fishing stuff. Hey, well, Luke, it's officially here now. Media days. Andy and I, the last few days, a couple of shows, we picked our order of finish in the SEC. We picked everybody's win-losses. All of our group will do that. It's a fun thing that we do, and then we'll look at it at the end of the year to see kind of how everybody's prognostications played out. But, real quickly, order of finish in the East: Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Missouri. In the West: Alabama, Auburn, LSU, Arkansas, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. I'll dive into my picks later on, but I just want to start there. Your initial thoughts on this media days, and there's a few talking points that I'll hit with you, but I want to talk to you mainly about Alabama's day on Wednesday.
I'll tell you, the one thing that stands out to me, and at this point has been made ad nauseum by a lot of folks, but I think Nick Saban has kind of taken the air out of SEC media days. There's no personality left in SEC media days. There's just not anybody that comes in and is a lot of fun and sort of gets the thing kicked off. It seemed more like work for everybody involved this year than it did, hey, this is kind of a party to get together and have some fun and talk some things. It just didn't seem like the same SEC media days. And like I said, I think it's less people or more teams and more coaches maybe realizing, okay, we're all vying for second place right now. And while that's true, you kind of, and you don't want coaches to be too cocky, I guess I wanted to just have more color. I mean, a great example would be Jim McElwain. Somebody asked him about that whole shark photo thing. You know, it would have been cool if he had embraced it. If he had brought like a blow-up shark raft or something and said, hey, have y'all met my friend or something like that. Instead, he went on this rant about how it's affected him and his family and the university. No, it hadn't. I mean, nobody really believed that was Jim McElwain, and he could have embraced it, made it fun, and sort of lightened the mood in the Galleria. And instead, he was sort of a downer, and it just was, that was a prelude to the whole week, if you ask me. There just wasn't any.
You know, why can't coaches, Luke, do that? I mean, you're so right. I mean, he had a chance to really come out of his shell. He's known as this dry, you know, burnt toast type guy, and he showed that. I mean, you play off this stuff. You know what you're facing when you go to media days is thousands of reporters, crazy questions, stuff out of the blue. And he could have really, like you said, been a guy that could have won over the media and the SEC and been the next guy to have that personality. Instead, he missed. I totally agree with you, because I was watching the recap on SEC Network every night, and it just seems like, once again, it's why I think Jim McElwain will ultimately fail at Florida, because he doesn't know how to loosen up. He doesn't know how to do anything but be who he is, and I don't think it's going to be good enough at the end of the day. Now, yeah, they've been to the championship game 2 years in a row, but let's just be honest. You and I have talked about it. They've backed their way in because the East has been terrible, and they've been obliterated 2 years in a row by Alabama. Anybody in the East would have been. So I'm with you. He could have really done something with that, and he has not been affected. That picture has done nothing. If it's done anything, it's brought more attention to Florida.
Well, and then you look at somebody like Butch Jones. I think Butch Jones could have come in there and done sort of the same thing. He could have come in and said, hey, maybe worn a ring, made a little fake ring saying, here's my Champions of Life ring. And so, again, lighten the mood, because what he was doing was stupid. And, I mean, I could go so far as to say the same thing with Saban, but Saban, we know what he's going to do. And also, I think Saban's earned the right to come in there and act about just however he wants to. And he comes in and he's pretty off-putting to the media in general, but he wasn't as off-putting this year. Even he wasn't as, terse to the media as he normally has been. Malzahn comes in, and I thought it would have been a good opportunity for Malzahn to come in and somebody say something like, well, what do you think about expectations of this team? And you'll say, well, you know how that turned out in 2015. I'm not going to go down that same road. Well, instead he went the same route. I mean, Malzahn basically said, our only question mark is kicker or punter. Again, he didn't go off the beaten path at all to try and lighten the mood. I mean, he seems like the same guy. Butch Jones seems like the same guy. And McElwain,
Muschamp tries to be that way.
I could have hoped for more from McElwain, because he seems like a funny, approachable guy. But this situation, I guess, just, I don't know. The SEC Media Days just didn't bring it this year.
Well, Muschamp tries to be that guy sometimes. I mean, he walks in, he sees the Florida reporter sitting over there, and he said, you remind me of that song, You Look Like I Need a Drink. And, he tries to, but Muschamp's just so wired all the time. It's hard for him to kind of break, but, he does have a little bit of a personality about it. To me, media days the last several years has kind of been lacking, so to say. I don't really know what we're looking for. I mean, Steve Spurrier's gone. Everybody just needs to understand that the types of comments and the day of him insulting Philip Fulmer and all that stuff's over. And so we're looking for something that may not be there. But Brett Bielema, we'll talk about him a little bit. But let's go. I want to go straight into Nick Saban talk. Probably the thing that's been the most controversial about this week was something that Nick Saban didn't say, and that's mentioning Auburn. And I've been waiting to get with you on this because, look, frankly, I could care less. Look, you got to win on the field. I don't really care what Nick Saban says as an Auburn fan. I just want Auburn to play well and continue to be competitive and have a shot to win the game, because obviously the last two times Auburn's beaten Alabama, Auburn's gone on to win the SEC and play for a national championship. So, look, just go win the game and quit worrying about it. But he mentions nearly every team in the conference except Auburn when he was asked a question about, who do you respect, or, the teams and how, and he went through the whole list. Everything Nick Saban does is calculated, Luke. He doesn't miss anything. So it's very obvious that he intentionally left Auburn out. Is there a reason why? Does he just really feel that way? What's your thoughts on that?
I don't really know how to read that. I'm sort of like you, Brett. I mean, it didn't really register with me. I didn't, as an Alabama fan, I didn't take it as like, ooh, it's sick burn by Saban on Auburn. I didn't look at it like that at all. I just, when he was talking about it and I heard the quote, I didn't purposely listen for Auburn because I didn't think that was the point he was trying to make, and I don't think he purposely left them out. I mean, he is very calculated, so I guess it wouldn't surprise me if he did. But even if he did, I mean, let's say that it was calculated. Let's say he did it. I mean, what do people expect? I mean, there's not a ton of respect in this rivalry, period. There hasn't been. Bear Bryant called Auburn a cow college. Wayne Hall burned his Alabama Letterman's jacket while he was at Auburn. Pat Dye saying, hey, we threw him a bone. Tommy Tuberville holding up his thumb. I mean, there's not a lot of respect in this rivalry, period. So for anybody to be up in arms about it, I think is a little bit silly. I mean, if people want to start having more respect in this rivalry, let's start with the fans. Let's try not to kill anybody's trees. Let's quit showing up to media days with hats that look like championship rings and dogs that are painted orange and blue. I mean, come on. Let's kick it up a notch if we want to do that.
Well, you're right. I do want to say this, and talking about Alabama's success, that they won. How many conference games in a row they won now, Luke? Is it like
10.
How many?
17.
17. Okay. All right. Well, it's funny to watch fans spin things and reporters spin things. He said, well, they were talking about teams that are trying to catch Alabama, and who do you respect? And he goes down through this list. Well, and I know this is crazy, but Auburn's won twice in the last 7 years against Alabama. Outside of Ole Miss's shot at 3 in a row, there's been no other team in the conference that's had as much success against Alabama than Auburn. And I mean, and even though it's limited success, I mean, I saw a fan post, well, why would he mention Auburn? Because they're already up there as close to Alabama as far as competitiveness in the SEC as anybody else in the conference. I mean, so there's all types of different ways to spin it. They're obviously the way ahead of the pack. Nick Saban's proven that. The program's proven that. You've said it numerous times on this program. When Nick Saban leaves, whenever that is, whether it be 10 years from now or 2 days from now, it's not going to be the same. It's just not. You're not going to replace a guy like that. Muschamp said they're not trying to catch the West. Everybody's just trying to catch Alabama. So you're right. It's the truth. I opened up the show with it. It's Alabama and everybody else. We can talk about order, finish, and all that, but until somebody can prove that they can knock Alabama off on a regular basis, then it's going to be the Alabama show. And then you look at the way teams have played Alabama, the 2 or 3 times they've lost games over the last 3 or 4 years, Luke, they've been by a touchdown or less. So it's not like somebody's gone in there and found the secret formula and just waxed Alabama. Now, Alabama's been on the verge of getting blown out a couple of times, but they fought back and they found ways to either come back and make the game really close or come back and win the game. I mean, they've been down 24-7 and 31 to whatever, and then they fight back and win the game. And so people need to understand it's going to be like this until somebody else can change the chain of command.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I don't think he did it purposely. If you tried to Brett, look at it this way: try to do this exercise that you're on just in a random time of day. You're on, somebody's talking to you, and they say, "Okay, name all the teams in the SEC. Go." And you'll name a few teams, and then you'll get stumped, and you'll be like, "Oh, how did I leave out Georgia?" Because sometimes your brain just doesn't work that way. And I just don't look. If he might have meant to do it, I can't speak for him. But do I think it's a big deal one way or the other? No, I don't think it's a big deal. And if people want to take it as a big deal, I don't see why there's any shock about it, because there's no respect in this rivalry right now, which is, I mean, it's sad. I wish it wasn't that way, but it's kind of one of the things that makes the rivalry what it is that neither team shows a lot of respect to the other. I mean, Dennis Franchione wouldn't say the word Auburn. I mean, this why would we be shocked that he would leave off Auburn in a situation like that? No. I mean, it's not like Gus Malzahn goes around saying, have y'all seen what Alabama's doing? My God, they're awful.
Yeah, and the thing is that I think if you're going to keep it like that, I think most fans would want it that way. I mean, gives talking points. Let's not walk around and act like we're all best friends. I mean, in football, I mean, we can get along. The players get along. I mean, Bradley Bozeman talked about how he talks to Austin Goldson all the time. And, you saw after the Iron Bowl players getting together and taking pictures. I mean, it's more about the fans. It's more about reading everybody's little everything into every comment that's made and seeing if you can come up with something to create some controversy.
One more thing about that, Brett.
Yeah.
And I'll take whatever question you want, but another thing that caused a little bit of controversy was Minka Fitzpatrick saying LSU is our biggest rival. A couple of things about that. First of all, Minka Fitzpatrick is from New Jersey, and I doubt he'd ever even been to Alabama before he took his first visit his recruiting visit to Alabama. And he comes here for football. I mean, let's not pretend he came for anything else. He came for football. And in his mind, in New Jersey, when he came to Alabama, LSU was the biggest rival for Alabama. I mean, in that moment. Now, historically, that's not true, but in the moment, and in this moment right now, nationally, LSU-Alabama may seem like the bigger rivalry because LSU-Alabama is always on prime time. It's always on at a time of year when it seems like those two are right in the middle of the SEC West hunt, which is the toughest division and the toughest conference. And it's got the Nick Saban factor integrated into that. So nationally, they may seem that way. Now, there's not an Alabama fan that I know of that would be honest and say LSU is a bigger rival than Auburn is. But nationally, from another perspective, everybody step outside their box for a second, I think LSU could be viewed as a bigger rival. I mean, LSU is in Alabama again. They're prime time. They got the Saban thing going. They send the most players to the NFL. LSU hadn't exactly been lighting the world on fire lately, but they, when Alabama and LSU play, LSU has been number 1 or number 2 a few times. Alabama's been number 1 or number 2. So and the players also. You just brought up Bradley Bozeman. The players don't look at these rivalries the same way the fans do. We're invested in this thing in a fanatical sense. The players, look, it's after the Iron Bowl. No matter what Iron Bowl it is, if it's a kick six or if it's a 42-0 halftime game, at the end of the game, a lot of them circle up and get in the middle of the field and say a prayer. And I've always looked at that and gone, oh my God, for a brief moment after the game, that always gives me a bitter perspective, and then you go back to either being depressed or celebrating. But the players look at it more like that. They aren't as insanely invested mentally as we are. I mean, we look at this as sort of a life and death situation sometimes. I think a lot of times when Alabama and Auburn players say, well, this is just the next game on the schedule, I think they mean it, because if they don't look at it that way, they're going to do really poorly in the weeks coming up to the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to Nick Saban really being the anomaly. Auburn is 3-7 since he's been at Alabama. LSU's 2-8. I don't know, is there another team, Luke, that has a better record against Nick Saban than Auburn? Is there anybody that?
No, I mean, Ole Miss has won 2 games, obviously, and I don't think anybody else.
I think Auburn has the most wins as a conference opponent against Alabama than anybody since he's been here. Florida may have 2.
What's funny is 2 of those wins, one of those LSU wins and one of those Auburn wins came in his first season, which was, you're trying to, as I've always said, dehumanize the players. So, look, he's been incredible, but what I'm trying to say is I think fans would be very disappointed to hear that they don't look at the Iron Bowl the same way the fans do. I mean, and that's why it's funny now that you and I and Andy have all been doing this for so long, and we've gotten more quote-unquote access to various programs and players. It's been sort of an epiphany for me to see, the players aren't as crazy about this stuff as I am. Like, they don't go home and read all the books and look at the stars and check all the measurables, and they're not worried about. They're worried about the next play. I mean, if they want to be successful.
No doubt about it, Luke. Well, hey man, we've gone 2 segments with you, which is great, and we'll talk some more on Tuesday night. We're just really getting vamped up. So much to talk about, even though it was a little bit more vanilla than normal. We didn't even get into Ole Miss. We didn't even get into the Hugh Freeze comments that were made. We didn't get into Brett Bielema and his new baby. Him talking about that. We didn't get into the Houston Nutt suing Ole Miss talk. We didn't get into anything talk about hot seats or anything like that. So we got plenty to talk about now, that's for sure, and we'll talk to you Tuesday, okay?
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks so much. That's our very own Luke Robinson on the road somewhere between here and there, and he'll be back on Tuesday night. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. Randy will come back and join me, and we'll continue these discussions. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's and Sunshine Heating and Air right after this.
If you've been putting off that new heating and air unit in your home because of the upfront expenses, Williams Plumbing of Alexander City now has primary financing from Synchrony and can now install brand new heating and cooling systems with zero down, longer terms, and a competitive rate. Call Williams Plumbing at 256-329-8488 and get a free quote in terms and upgrade up to $35,000 in work with approved credit. Williams Plumbing stands behind their work with on-time affordable service for all your heating and air needs, as well as plumbing for zero down financing and great service. Williams Plumbing.
When enjoying the lake this season, make sure to drop by Harbor Point Marina for all your gas, snacks, boating supplies, and beverage needs. Harbor Point also wants you to come see our remaining 2017 Crest pontoons, priced to move at all-season pricing. Harbor Point Crest sales have been tremendous, and they're ready to unload their remaining 2017 Crest Tritoons to make way for the 2018 order. Come see the best in pontoons at our 2017 season closeout prices. Act now because inventory is limited, and enjoy your new Crest pontoon this year. For all your own water needs and sacrifice pricing on Crest pontoons, get to the point. Harbor Point at Still Waters on Lake Martin.
Saturday, July 22nd, Sun Festival, Alexander City welcomes the biggest live act to hit Strand Park to date, Moon Taxi. At Strand Park in historic downtown Alexander City, Saturday, July 22nd. Doors open at 6 p.m. Tickets are only $20 and on sale now at the Alexander City Chamber of Commerce or at alexandercitychamber.com. Presented by the City of Alexander City.
Advantage is defined as a favorable or desirable circumstance or feature, a benefit, and that's just what you'll get with the Gills Auto Sales 5-Star Advantage. Gills Worry-Free Guarantee, a 30-month, 30,000-mile warranty on every vehicle. Specialized maintenance from the area's top technicians and free oil changes with each purchase. Flexible financing to fit any budget or credit situation. Convenience with 6 locations offering quick and easy approvals. And selection, the area's volume leader with over 400 vehicles in stock. There's only one place to get the 5-Star Advantage, and that's only at Gills.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your expressway to saving.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Nissan, it's time to zero in on huge savings at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. 0% financing is back in a big way on many of your favorite Nissan models, but only for a limited time. Buy today and save up to $11,000 off MSRP on remaining 2016s as we make room for the 2017. Get up to $7,000 off MSRP on the new Altima SL or 0% for 72 months. Just click it and pick it now at lynchnissan.com. Lynch Nissan of Auburn, I-85 and exit 51.
At U.S. Ameribank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. Ameribank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. Ameribank difference. U.S. Ameribank, banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Jewelry by Design is Auburn's premier jeweler for over 20 years. Mark and Tammy Nelson invite you to see their unique selection of engagement rings, each crafted to be a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, custom designed with only natural premium diamonds that are never enhanced. Jewelry by Design is also your officially licensed Auburn University jeweler that handcrafts all of their Auburn jewelry as unique as your passion for the Auburn Tigers. For jewelry that's crafted to your style, visit Jewelry by Design on Dean Road in Auburn or online at jewelrybydesignauburn.com.
If you had $6,000, how would you spend it?
I'd pay bills.
How about a new car? Vacation!
At Hyundai of Auburn today, you can get the new car and do the other things.
What? How?
Pick out your dream car and drive away with as much as $6,000 to spend however you'd like.
America's best warranty and $6,000?
Luxury and $6,000.
Be thinking how to spend your $6,000. HyundaiofAuburn.com.
Vacation!
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tritoon with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, here with you till 9 o'clock. I was going to say 8. If we were only going to be here for 8, we'd be here for 5 more minutes. But we'll be with you till 9. You can call us, 256-234-6221. Luke Robinson on the phone talking about SEC Media Days. Andy Graham not here today, but the Sports Blitz games go on. So we're going to play a little true false. And we always, I was impressed with our producer, Mike, a couple of weeks ago. The game show music in the background, having a little thing. It's adds a little lightness to this. But true or false, Randy, I'm going to ask you some of these, and I'm going to get you to tell everybody whether you think it's true or false and why. Is this true or coach speak? Statements made by coaches this week at SEC Media Days. First one, very excited where we're at and where we're going. Brett Bildman.
Coach speak, they have no identity. He came into the conference with an identity and he decided to leave it. I know coaches have to coach to the talent level that they have, and maybe he felt like the quarterback play and getting it to some receivers gave him a better chance. But now I don't look at them as physical. I don't look at them as someone that you don't want to match up with mid-season because they're going to lean on you when you've got a couple of injuries out there.
You feel like he was forced to change his style of play because he thought,
I
can't ever win a championship playing this style of football?
He made that decision, though. They went out and hired him for what he brought to the table as far as the physicality.
Yeah.
They didn't hire him because he was a dynamic coach throwing the football around 45 times.
I know now he's changed, but maybe, you get in this conference and you look around, and I've watched coaches, a couple in at Auburn, that have changed their philosophy because they felt like their way of playing football, hard-nosed football, they can't win against Alabama. And LSU, look at LSU, man. Since Nick Saban's been there, they're 2-8. They won twice. Minka Fitzpatrick, as Luke said, from New Jersey, he comes in and says, well, our biggest rival is LSU. Well, maybe in his mind, from a competitive standpoint, going back and forth, I mean, it's a no-brainer what the biggest rivalry is. It's the biggest rivalry in college football is the Iron Bowl. But Auburn's got the best record against, and this is how crazy this is. I don't know if you heard this stat or not. Auburn's 3-7 against Nick Saban. It's the best record in the conference since he's been there.
I don't know. What
There's
Luke,
no other SEC team.
I don't know what Luke said, but that's the biggest set of smoke and mirrors that we have ever brought up. I'm sorry, I'm an Auburn fan.
I'm talking about the conference.
We have gotten ourselves blistered by
You
them
have.
so many of those 7 times.
Who hadn't, though?
That it all, well,
That's where we're going with this.
LSU,
This is where we
LSU has been very competitive.
No chance to win, though. No chance to win.
A lot more competitive.
Win them, they lost 10-0 a couple years ago. Randy,
Right,
they didn't even cross midfield.
Let's pull up scores from the last 10 years. Let's do that in the break.
We can. We
For
can do
both
that.
of them.
But here's the deal. At the end of the day, what's the end result still?
It's 3 wins. I get it. But
I'm talking about for LSU. It's still a loss. That's why I think I'm going back to make a point about Brett Bielema. LSU's a better program than Arkansas, even, right?
Yeah.
And Alabama has set themselves way above everybody else. Well, Brett Bielema gets down here and goes, "Look, guys, we don't change. We got no chance to beat either LSU on a regular basis, which they've done now. They have mastered that, or beat Alabama." I don't think how many times has Arkansas beaten Alabama since he's been there? None. I don't think Arkansas's even won a game against Nick Saban. They may be 0-10. I don't know. I'd have to go pull up some records. I know for a fact that, and what I'm trying to say in the same breath, I'm not bragging about Auburn being 3-7 because it's embarrassing. It's the best record against the man. Is what it is. 2 of them were comeback wins. One of them was a miracle. One was in his first year as a coach. Look, I ain't trying to make a comparison.
No, I know you're not, but you're not going to make it. I don't know.
Nobody's making it.
I don't know another way to say it though. But when you make a decision like he did, and you go away from your identity, and it's no different than business, no different than anything. You got to pick who you are, say who you are, and then go out and be it. If you're floundering around like Tommy Tuberville did at the end, Tony Franklin in it.
Well, I think these guys do this.
Well, you lose,
I think they say they're going to lose anyway, so might as well take this chance.
I would stay the course. Stay the course, man. Be who you are. See if you can get the right players.
You give yourself a better chance at success if you do stay the course.
But where they struggle is they don't recruit anywhere near the level of even an Auburn. And they dang sure don't recruit on an Alabama level.
That's what I'm saying.
And on a yearly basis, they struggle recruiting with LSU. And
I think that's why they say, man, we got the wrong style of football here to be even competitive, because we're not going to beat Alabama and LSU for a player, and they play the same style of football as us. So we're going to get the number 3 player, and they're going to get the number 1 and 2 player at those positions, and we're going to have no chance to win. We'll go ahead and take another top of the hour. We'll take the top of the hour break. We come back, we'll go through these true or false, because that was a good one, and it just kind of lays the landscape of where we are in the conference. It's the Alabama Nick Saban show until anybody else can change that. Stay tuned. More of Saturday Sports Countdown coming your way right after this.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At US AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, US AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the US AmeriBank difference. US AmeriBank, banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control company for a generation, and now we're proud to announce our new name, EnviroCare. You can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs, and EnviroCare's exclusive Sentricon termite colony elimination system that provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. The EnviroCare Sentricon termite protection protects your home year-round. Call the professionals of EnviroCare throughout Central East Alabama. Call for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
A1 Four Seasons, a division of Jackson Refrigeration, is Central Alabama's Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer. With the summer months approaching, the temperatures are rising, and so will your power bill if you don't have one of the latest 410A heat pumps. With R22 Freon prices on the rise, now is the time to make the switch to a new, more efficient unit that will save you hundreds of dollars on your yearly power bill. Call A1 Four Seasons at 256-234-4457.
In a world that's ever-changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. At Central Alabama Community College, you'll know you made the best choice. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a four-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you, central to your success.
Ask what makes it the best 3 Series ever, and we'll tell you it has more advanced suspension and steering for even more control of the road. And it's near perfectly balanced to put performance first. But ask if we're aware the competition mimics us just to keep up? No comment. The BMW 3 Series.
Visit BMW of Columbus on Whittlesey Boulevard or shop bmwofcolumbus.com.
With him. Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports
This
Countdown. Brett
segment of
Pritchard and
Sports
Randy
Blitz.
Lee here with you till 9 o'clock. Let's jump back in this true or false. We got off on a rant there, but it seems like everything goes back. And I tell you one thing, it is astonishing to see the dominance of Alabama football since Nick Saban's been there. I mean, when you talk about a team, and we're just pulling straws, but when you talk about the best record against Nick Saban's 3-7, and his arch rival Auburn, I mean, that's crazy. That is amazing. Arkansas ain't beat him since he's been there. Mississippi State, one win. Ole Miss has got 2. Now, Ole Miss had a chance to put 3 in a row against him last year, and the wheels fell off in the second half. We were sitting out there getting ready to go into the game at Auburn, and for lack of better terms, crapped to bed right before halftime.
Yeah,
all right,
true.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, they had a 24-7 lead, gave up a quick score, punted a line drive to Eddie Jackson, he ran it back. I mean, all of a sudden, you're down 24-17, and it's like, well, that game's over. No need to even watch second half. Next one, he, referring to Danny Etling, loves that we made it a quarterback competition. Actually, he thrives in it by Ed Orgeron.
I think it's truth because Etling is he's no world beater.
He's not a very good quarterback.
And yes, can they say that he's going to thrive in competition? He better. Or LSU and Eddie Orgeron.
Do you really think Danny Etling, deep down in the souls of his innards, likes quarterback competition? Nobody wants to be their butt on the hot seat.
I mean, you got to live in reality. And Sean White, for instance, whoever it was, it'd be Jarrett Stidham or anyone. Sean White is a good quarterback.
He tweeted
Will you give
out
him
that?
that?
Yeah,
he's a good quarterback. He can't stay healthy. He has his moments. He's a competitor. You can say all those nice little things about someone.
Competition makes everybody better.
But in reality, we're going to keep bringing somebody in and compete with that guy because your hope is to take your team to a 10, 11, 12 win season at some point in time.
That's right.
You're not sure he can get you there.
That's exactly right.
And
that's right.
So Danny Etling, is anybody sitting around
Etling,
going, I'm pretty sure he can get me to 10, 11, 12 wins?
A Purdue transfer. And now that I think about Danny Etling more, I may adjust my picks a little bit for LSU. Well, Peyton and I are in constant dialogue. We're in constant communication. Butch Jones.
Okay, truth, because one, he needs the fan base at Tennessee to know that he is calling and asking for every piece of advice that Peyton Manning can give him because he needs all of it. But that's the only reality here. And Peyton's probably taking it because he cares about his alma mater and wants them to be successful. So, yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Did he have to go out there and say that?
Well, I mean, I don't think –
I think that tells you where the program is. Do you think
they've won 9
any
games.
other successful coach would go up there and say, I'm in constant dialogue with Cam Newton?
No.
He is, or I am in constant dialogue. I mean, do you think Jim Harbaugh is going to come up there and say, I'm in constant dialogue with Tom Brady? Come on, man. Are you kidding?
And this is a guy
Is he coaching?
This is a guy who won 9 games 3 years in a row, but I think he knows. You want to talk about dropping the ball last year. Tennessee dropped the ball. They had a chance to win the East and didn't do it. I'd be remiss if I didn't also thank you guys for the coverage we get throughout the year. Kirby Smart.
I think that you say that before the season because you really mean it.
Yeah.
And so it's truth. But knowing that the season comes in, I mean, you think about think about anybody that gets caught up in their daily activity. It's not us or anyone else, but you get stressed out, man, and you just get in a different mode. If you catch me at 3 o'clock in the afternoon after somebody's kicked me about 30 times,
yeah, different guy than
it's
in the
a
morning.
Much different guy than on a Saturday morning
you're
sitting
right.
up here knowing I ain't got to go deal with humans after I
That's
leave.
the truth,
here.
man.
So I think that he does mean that before the season starts.
Yeah.
But when the season starts, you ask him a stupid question and he's been kicked 30 times that day.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a Nick Saban response.
That's right. That's right. I think it's all about when you catch somebody.
That's right.
Boy, this one I had to laugh. Vanderbilt is a program on the rise. Derek Mason. Rise to where?
To him getting fired at the end of this year.
Man, I tell you, I had to laugh on that one. Let's move on. MSU can be a program that competes or hopefully has the opportunity to compete for championships on a regular basis in the SEC.
If Nick Saban retires, I don't think he's far from it right now. You know, you and I just had a long talk about I think that he has done more with less than anyone else in the conference.
He's done a phenomenal job, and Mississippi State ought to just say, look, I don't care if you go 2-9 in the next 3 years. I'm just saying, if you did, we're not going to – you have no pressure.
But you know what? He doesn't.
I know it.
He wins 7 or 8 ball games with an incoming quarterback that's taken over for quite possibly a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, Dak Prescott this past year was a top 5 guy as a rookie.
There's no doubt, man.
And they lose him from a Mississippi State program, and he went out there and got him.
I mean, they've done a good job.
I mean, yes.
All right, let me preface this next one. Now, Jim McElwain went on a rant about this and talked about how it's affected his family and talked about, which is, like Luke and I talked, it's a total joke. He missed the opportunity here to be the guy to really set things off the SEC Media Days. Talking about the shark photo, if you hadn't seen it, you need to go pull it up. I love the humor in it. Jim McElwain, when asked about the shark photo. That's a lie.
Yeah,
he doesn't like the humor because he went on a 10-minute rant right after that about how it's affected his family. Man, who gives a crap? It's a big fat guy laying on a shark on the back of a boat that looks like you, okay? Sorry, if it is what it is, just embrace it. Like Luke said, why didn't you bring a blow-up shark and get somebody to walk it out and have fun with it and build it up? Jim McElwain, that's the reason I told Luke he's not going to be successful at Florida because he can't handle the moment. And this year is going to be a real test for Florida because Muschamp's defensive guys are gone. They've been playing really well because of the defense.
Yeah.
We'll see what Florida does. They're picked to finish second behind Georgia this year in the East. They backed their way in to a couple East Division championships. I just ain't sold, man.
Well,
I ain't sold.
He's an offensive guy.
And they have terrible offense.
We'll see if he'll turn that around.
That's right.
And if he does, he's got a chance to have a very nice stretch here. I mean, he has exceeded expectations in the first 2 years. Wouldn't you agree with that?
They go to the championship game twice.
So if he can find him an offense in year 3 or get closer, then I'm not against him right now.
Well, I have a tremendous amount of respect for a lot of teams in our league. This quote got a lot of play this week because of somebody he left out, Nick Saban.
I think it's truth. but it's also.
What else would he say?
All right, I know it, but let me also say this: you can respect. Let's try to put ourselves in Nick Saban's shoes. You can respect other programs, and you can also respect in the back of your mind the uphill battle that those poor programs have got to catch up with the culture that you've created.
Yeah.
That he's done, because this is an Alabama program that in my lifetime hadn't been anywhere near this level. Nowhere near it. I'm 40 years old, and I didn't grow up in the 70s. I was born in 77, and I was at the.
We're witnessing it again.
So Bear Bryant did it then. It was a mentality that you're going to play them if you luck up and beat them.
Yeah, and it was different. Yeah, I'm going to give Nick Saban a one-up on Bear Bryant, because Bear Bryant just went out and got everybody's players. You know, there were no limitations on scholarships, and if there was somebody that somebody else wanted, he'd go off from, they'd come to Alabama, he'd sit on the bench. Now, Nick Saban's been able to do it where there's been limitations placed, and the field's a lot more equal, okay? I mean, that's what makes this more impressive.
I think he can respect the program, but also in the back of his mind go, y'all going to be real lucky. Y'all need a miracle to catch me.
No, that's right. Well, and that's comforting to think in the back of your mind if you're that guy thinking that. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll finish the true and false here, part of SEC Media Day. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown coming your way right after this.
Purchasing a new home is easier than you think, and America's Home Place can show you the way. For over 41 years, we've built thousands of homes for people just like you. We guide you through the entire process, from purchasing a lot, finding financial options, to putting the finishing touches on your beautiful new house. Come tour our showroom and see over 100 customizable floor plans. Visit us online at americashomeplace.com/TV for a free floor plan book. America's Home Place. We make building easy.
Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17th season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer, with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Whether it's a dream house or corporate real estate, Concrete has the skill, expertise, and talent to exceed your expectations. Trust Concrete to build a foundation for your future. Our work ethic and dedication are always in keeping the competition on their toes. We specialize in residential and commercial development in the Coosa, Talladega, and Shelby County areas. Call us today for your next project, 256-245-4211, or check us out on the web at con-crete.com.
If you currently have an FHA mortgage, this commercial is for you. Most people that currently have an FHA mortgage are working with Home Place Mortgage to refinance their current loan. Several items have changed to make now the perfect time to refinance. FHA has reduced the amount of monthly mortgage insurance. Current interest rates for FHA loans are at all-time lows. FHA has eliminated the need for new appraisal. Most people will be able to refinance with little or no closing costs. This is the opportunity that you have been waiting for. Call now to start saving.
This is the sale you've been waiting for.
Don't miss the Drive and Discover event at Bice Motors in Alex City.
Great looking trucks and great looking discounts.
New 2017 Ram 1500 Express Quad Cab 4x2 with Hemi, $259 down, $259 a month for 36 months.
Buy it at Bice.
New 2017 Jeep Cherokee, equipped, not stripped, as low as $18,987.
BiceChryslerDodge.com.
And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh.
You can count on the caring team at Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation. Our services include physical, speech, and occupational therapy. Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation, 256-329-9061.
we're gonna move on and finish out true false here in this segment. Move on to some other stuff. I'll just pick a few of these. Listen. I don't think the pressure I'm feeling right now is any different than the pressure I feel all the time. Kevin Sumner. Means first of all, he's acknowledging there's a lot of pressure there.
Yeah, he's acknowledging that the inner turmoil in that program is an issue. He's recruiting well. It's a good fit. Texas A&M feels the part in the SEC.
They do.
You expect them to make a jump to competing a little bit more often without Johnny Manziel, and they can't keep guys around, man. And it's a problem. And I think that they'll cure themselves of that problem sooner than later, unless he takes a giant leap forward, and it's all sitting on the quarterback again for him this year.
I know it. And they seem to always burn up the woods halfway to the halfway mark, and they fall apart after the midway part. It's an exciting time to be a Gamecock right now. Can't you see him getting up there? It's an exciting time to be a Gamecock. I mean, Will Muschamp. Is it?
I tell you what's exciting for him, and he better thank his lucky stars it happened, is that Jake Bentley ended up a Gamecock. Because what would you think of South Carolina if you take that guy out of the
Not
mix?
very much.
And what do you
think?
think?
And he just turned 19.
What do you think of him with him, though?
Oh, he's a competitor in the East.
That's right.
Immediately.
That's
what one guy can do, especially at the quarterback position.
That's right. I mean, he has. I told you, it's not that he throws the football like him, or not that he does a lot of things like him, but to me, he's a 50-pass Phillip Rivers type kid. That you just go out there and he's.
Well, they're going to have to ride with Jake Bentley because he gives them their only shot to be really good.
And he's just cool, calm, and collected.
That's exactly
right. It's a good time to be a Gamecock. Thank you, lucky stars.
I think this, referring to infractions in no bowl game, has potential to set our staff up to have their finest hour. Hugh Freeze.
Good luck.
That is total coach speak.
Pray to the Lord.
He skated
above.
Everything over there. I mean, you can tell that program is just up in arms. And then, of course, I don't think Houston Nutt suing Ole Miss for defamation of character and breach of contract really adds anything more to what they're facing right now. I think they're going to get the hammer right before the season starts.
I don't think it matters how good Shea Patterson is. They're in trouble.
They are in trouble. It's a bad. I think the best.
Because I think they had the best quarterback last year in the conference.
And won 5 games.
Yeah.
So tells you, and that's off a meteoric rise, 8, 9, 10 wins in a row. It looked like he had it really going. All right, they're hungry and they've got something to prove. And really, the last time I felt this was 2013. Gus Malzahn.
120% coach speak. He says that every single year. I bet you could almost pull Andy's true or false, truth or coach speak from last year at this time
and say that,
and almost had the same exact.
Probably is.
We're turning the corner, and a lot of
does that end up just wearing fans down to hear the same robotic responses every year and see the results? I mean, look, we all get fired up before the season starts, but then when we settle in and we kick the season off and you run out there with the game plan that Auburn ran out there with against Clemson last year, we sat in that game and I'm thinking, did I pay to watch this circus? Because we have put 5 guys behind center to take snaps against a team that's probably going to have a chance to win a national championship. What are we doing? I mean, everybody's fired up right now, but then you get out there and reality sets in. And right now, Gus Malzahn, to me, as an Auburn fan, has got to prove he knows how to coach again, or at least let his coaches coach again. No Rhett Lashley, new offensive guy. I'm excited for that reason and for a couple other reasons. But Gus Malzahn looked like he lost the helm the last 2 years, that he was in disarray, that he didn't know what to do, that you continue to do the same thing over and over and over and over again, expect a different result. That's the definition of insanity. And I think that's where he's been temporarily in his mind. He's temporarily gone insane from an offensive standpoint because we've been horrible. Talking about coaches at their specialties, Jim McElwain, specialty is offense. Been horrible at it. Gus Malzahn, the mad scientist, has lost his way offensively. And these coaches, it's crazy to look at them and see how when they get to that CEO standpoint, they forget what they're doing, and it just gets to be too much pressure.
The word process and culture is used a lot.
That's right.
But you do have to pick who you are. and you do have to have confidence in what you do. And it's easy for you and I to sit up here that we're not coaching and say that, but I firmly believe that you've got to have something that you believe in and you stick to it. And if it doesn't work out, it didn't work out, but you're going down guns a-blazing on what you believe. To me, back to Brett Bielema. Man, you're not even who are you?
Nobody knows.
I mean, if 7 years ago when you come into the conference, I'm worried that your offensive line 7 years from now is going to whoop me.
That's right.
You are going to come over here
and physically beat me
down. And it has not happened. And they're huge, but they don't have the physical tough mentality to compete against an Alabama program. Yeah, they're going out there getting a great recruits year in and year out, but that ain't always made the biggest difference in college football. No. A lot of times you can coach them up in the trenches to become something.
I think you said it on here numerous times with me about Auburn, and especially in the season. Why aren't we, we want to preach fast football. Well, we're not playing fast football. We snap the ball with 2 seconds on the play clock. What advantage do we have? It's like Gus Malzahn, everybody made such a big stink a couple years ago about the hurry up, no huddle offense and snapping the ball, and as soon as it's placed, you go.
Yeah,
loved it. How many times had we done that in the last 2 years? We don't do it anymore.
And I know that quarterback play has been an issue.
Yeah.
And they probably tried to mask the deficiencies by slowing things down. But, man, we're losing games anyway. Go down with
swinging.
Go down with what you believe in, and I hope we do get back to that. And I think we got a quarterback in place. From what you can watch A-days, you can watch scrimmage games, and Luke can send me a text and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about with this one. Because I have missed. I missed on Jeremy Johnson badly.
Well, everybody did. You did. I was out there carrying a banner. Oh, he does. There's no doubt.
And so which brings up your next one, and I'll bring this one to you because to me, if this one's not.
Well, I'm just not going to watch.
Sean White has a great chance to be a starter.
Basically what you're saying to everybody that's sitting out there in the audience is that I think you're stupid. I'm going to go ahead and put a "I'm dumb" sticker on your forehead if you believe that. Are you kidding me, man? Jarrett Stidham was he was trying to decide where he wanted to finish his college career. Everybody in the country wanted this guy, from the West Coast to the East Coast, North, South. And you're going to bring him in and you're going to tell me that you're going to sit up there on the podium at media days, tell me Sean White. What else is he going to say? You can give me that line. But give me a freaking break, man. Nobody out there believes that statement. And if you do, you're too naive for your own good. I'm going to leave it at that. Just don't even talk about it. Say, well, we're going to go through our standard normal procedures when we decide who's going to play quarterback. Don't get up there and say Sean White has a great chance to be a starter because you feel sorry for him because he's laid his guts on the line for you the last 2 years, has been hurt. I admire the kid. This has nothing to do with Sean White as a person.
And I think he's a usable.
He's he's a great kid. And I got nothing but respect for a guy that breaks his arm and knows he breaks his arm and wants to stay in the game. Okay? But as a coach, your responsibility is to take the kid out and say, look, you've done all you can do for me, a la Georgia, a la Oklahoma in the Sugar Bowl. Take him out. That's your responsibility. Don't leave him in there. It's not about Sean White. It's about Gus Malzahn making statements like that I'm tired of, that really have Auburn fans on the edge saying, look, just shut up and go out there and win football games. Just don't talk anymore. Prove that you can run an offense again. Prove that you can get this program going. Now we've flipped over and we're playing good on defense, but the offense has turned sour. 3 years ago, we went to Alabama and put 44 points on the board but gave up 55. Talking about who are you? Talking about identity, pick one. Pick something. So the last two real quick. The ACC is premier conference in the country, and this is bonus. That's Jimbo Fisher.
Biggest joke.
He's been a joke.
That's a joke.
It is a joke. Last one. I'm rooting for Florida State to beat Alabama in the opener. Dabo Swinney.
Well, no kidding you are. If I were a Clemson coach and I were in the ACC, I'd be rooting as hard as I could. We're all rooting. We're in the SEC. I've sat up here for the last 45 minutes and sung the praises of Nick Saban, that he's the one of the best leaders in this country, and he's got the best program.
It's the
truth. And it's the truth. But every time they go out on the field, we are dying by every snap for them to please lose.
That's exactly right.
Please.
Somebody knock them out.
And it's not just Auburn fans.
That's
it is
right.
everyone.
No doubt.
When you go
it's got to feel good to be that program.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody hates you and everybody.
But when you go into is it a year 11?
Yes, this will be. Yeah, it's actually be year 10 for Nick Saban. So.
All right, 200. You've got point totals to decide who the SEC champion, the premier conference in the United States. Not like there's any other country that's doing it, but 217 points, and the second one got 11.
And it's in the same division.
Yeah.
That means the East guy, the first East, is finished third.
217 to 11.
There's no respect right now in the East, and it's Alabama and everybody else. Will Muschamp's comment was so spot on. It's like we're not in us in the East aren't trying to catch the West. We're all trying to catch Alabama. It's the truth. All right, that's going to wrap up True False. We come back, we'll continue these discussions and much more. First team, second team, third team, offense and defense for the SEC. What do you think? A lot of talented players, man. Year of the quarterback has been down a little bit the past few years. A lot of good quarterbacks in the league this year. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown coming your way right after this.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization, wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat, full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma, all with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com, 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Lakeside Marina and Watercraft Rentals have spring fever and are happy to announce that Bennington is back. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek is now Lake Martin's Bennington pontoon dealer with all models of Bennington pontoons that deliver speed, power, and stability with their elliptical sport packages and best-in-class styling and luxury. See the full line now for best selection as well as the all-new personal watercraft from Kawasaki. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek, #1 for a reason. Lakeside Marina is also your authorized Easy Go kart dealer for Lake Martin.
Got your eye on a new Nissan? It's time to zero in on huge savings at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. 0% financing is back in a big way on many of your favorite Nissan models, but only for a limited time. Buy today and save up to $11,000 off MSRP on remaining 2016s as we make room for the 2017s. Get up to $5,000 off MSRP on the new Rogue SL or 0% for 72 months. Just click it and pick it now at lynchnissan.com. Lynch Nissan of Auburn, I-85 at exit 51.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a trusted choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cast aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
Whether it's a walk-off home run, a game-winning touchdown, or a buzzer beater, make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup. Located in downtown Sylacauga and a short drive from Highway 280, Jay's has the food you're looking for. Whether it's wings, fingers, burgers, or salads, they have it all. Come bring your family for a great meal, come hang out with your friends for the big game, or call them at 256-207-0700 to place your order. Make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown. A little bit less than 30 minutes in today's show. We appreciate you out there watching and listening throughout our area. Randy will slide over talking about these players. The media. It's a fun thing about going over to media days, and Andy and I talked about it the few times we've been over there on Radio Row when we've done our shows. It's a circus over there, but then you get to be involved in the voting. So again, to run down the order of finish in the conference. In the East, it's Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Missouri. In the West, it's Alabama, Auburn, LSU, Arkansas, A&M, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss. The champion, SEC champion, Alabama, with 217 total votes. Auburn got 11. Georgia got 6. LSU got 3. Florida got 3. Vanderbilt, who slung them in there? I just noticed that. 1. Vanderbilt. There is a better chance of a meteor coming from out of space and blowing up this studio than Vanderbilt win the SEC championship. Arkansas a point, and then South Carolina a point. I'd give South Carolina a point because they could get on a roll over there in the East, somehow find their way to the SEC championship game, and then just have some kind of unbelievable game. I mean, anything can happen. South Carolina's got a chance to get there. Arkansas, no chance. Vanderbilt, no chance to get to Atlanta. I mean, wouldn't you think?
Vandy definitely at the bottom of that one.
Ole Miss has as good a chance to getting in the SEC championship game. They can't even go. I mean, they can't go to a bowl game. I think they can still go to the championship game. They're still not going to be there anyway. But anyway, that's your order of finish in the SEC. It's Alabama and everybody else. All right. All SEC team preseason, first team offense. Quarterback is Jalen Hurts from Alabama. And here's the crazy thing, and here's my early prediction, and I'd like to know what Luke's going to think. Jalen Hurts will not be your quarterback by Game 5 at Alabama.
You don't think?
Tua Tagovailoa, I think, will come in because of his ability to pass. If he's what you're hearing and you read some of the things Nick Saban says, that's the crazy thing about that is Jalen Hurts was first team All SEC. He's freshman of the year, and he may be out of a job by Game 5. And that's just an early prediction. He may come back and be a prolific passer and have worked all that out. I'm just making a fun prediction here, but that's how good Alabama is, okay? That they can have their first team preseason All-SEC quarterback go to the bench Game 5 because they got a guy coming in that's better. 2 running backs, Darius Geis, Nick Chubb. Darius Geis really showed his stuff last year with Leonard Fournette being in and out of the lineup, being hurt, not wanting to play, whatever you want to call it. And then Nick Chubb coming back 2 years now removed from that devastating knee injury. Tennessee doesn't look like a guy that totally blew his knee out. I mean, 2 phenomenal running backs right there.
Yeah, Nick Chubb goes for right at 1,100 yards last year. He's at 3,500 for his career, which is second most in Georgia history, right behind Herschel. Way behind Herschel. But
that's right, but still, he's second.
35. I think this is more of a long-term, let's give him this, because when I look down at the second-team offense and I think, who could have a breakout 1,800 or 2,000 yard year? It's either of these two on the second team, a lot more than I believe Nick Chubb, who has struggled probably mentally.
That's right.
With the injuries, but it's Cameron Petway and Bo Scarborough. Either one of them could go off this year, wouldn't you agree?
There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you know, Bo Scarborough, and I've said this before, and my dad said it. He felt like Alabama would have won the national championship last year if Bo Scarborough hadn't gotten hurt in the second half. I mean, Clemson wasn't stopping him. And then the train was rolling, and that was going to be a wear-down fest. But Alabama had to change things up a little bit. Had a few drives that stalled out, gave Clemson some extra possessions. I know Jalen Hurts scored with less than 2 minutes to take the lead, and it was an unreal drive for them to come back and win. But I think the scope of the game would have been different if Bo Scarborough, you limit Clemson's possessions, you're pounding the football. He's that kind of player for them on offense. The rest of the first-team offense, the 2 wideouts, Calvin Ridley from Alabama, Christian Kirk from A&M, 2 great guys there. At tight end, Isaac Nauta from Georgia. Your offensive line, the center, Frank Ragnow from Arkansas, and then you got Piers Baker from Alabama, Jonah Williams from Alabama, Martez Ivey from Florida, and Braden Smith from Auburn. So Auburn with 1 man on the first team offense, Alabama with 4 in Hurts and Ridley, Williams, and Pierce Baker. If we'll flip over to the defensive side of things, the defensive line, 5 guys for Alabama in the defensive side of the ball, first team.
9 of the first 22.
9 of the first 22. I mean, that just tells you where everything is right now. Deron Payne, Deshaun Hand, Trent Thompson, and Marquise Haynes. Trent Thompson from Georgia, Marquise Haynes from Ole Miss, linebackers Arden Key from LSU, Rashawn Evans. He's played in limited roles. We all knew the controversy a couple years ago about him. His dad played at Auburn. He's at Alabama. He's going to be phenomenal in his skill set. Roquan Smith from Georgia, talented linebacker. And in the secondary, Alabama's got 2 of the 4, Minka Fitzpatrick, Ronnie Harrison, Armani Watts from A&M, and Duke Dawson from Florida round out the first-team defense. So like you said, 9 of the total 22 first-team offense and defense belong to Alabama.
I think that 3 of them are top 10 picks in the NFL too. I think Deron Payne.
What about Deshaun Hand?
No, Minka Fitzpatrick's without a doubt, and Ronnie Harrison to me is too. Yeah, you can put the other 2 in there, but to me the other ones, those 3 are definite top 10 picks.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll run down some more of these players. We won't go player for player, but we'll just highlight a few of these, and then we got one more fun game coming your way. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Hi, this is Quinn Harrelson with Interlink Mortgage in Auburn, Alabama. There are 1,000 different questions people ask me every day about mortgage loans. They ask about buying investment homes, primary homes, and even second homes at the lake or the beach. I only have a limited time to say, call me and let's talk about what you want and how I can help you get it. Again, win with Quinn and call me today at 256-675-6259 so I can help structure a mortgage that best fits you and your family's needs.
Yamaha is beating the field in just about every category of motorsport products, offering unbelievable performance, handling, features, technology, and at prices that are blowing everyone's mind, especially the competition. Visit Twin City Yamaha on Stage Road in Auburn.
Hi, this is Scott Tway with Twin Cities Yamaha in Auburn. Isn't it about time to put some fun back in your life? Call us and see what we mean. 334-821-0439 or on the web at www.twincitiesyamaha.com.
Purchasing a new home is easier than you think, and America's Home Place can show you the way. For over 41 years, we've built thousands of homes for people just like you. We guide you through the entire process from purchasing a lot, finding financial options, to putting the finishing touches on your beautiful new house. Come tour our showroom and see over 100 customizable floor plans. Visit us online at americashomeplace.com/TV for a free floor plan book. America's Home Place. We make building easy.
Your comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced heat and air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's train dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our #1 concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Hello, I'm Harvey B. Campbell Jr., the manager and founding partner of Alabama Consumer Law, LLC. We are a law firm dedicated to helping you, the consumer, from all kind of debt issues. We can handle Chapter 13s, Chapter 7s, and Chapter 12s, and Chapter 11s if you need help.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers. We are a debt relief agency. We are a private company. We are not associated with any state or federal government agency.
Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gills. Selection and price, got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills. Cars that fit your budget. Service that no one around can beat. Stop by today and test drive the vehicle of your dreams. Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you. Gotta get to Gills. Selection and price. Gotta get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills.
Bringing up great memories. Some Auburn years have passed. Not thinking about some of these players on the All-SEC team, first team. We went down the first team, second team. Just a couple highlights. Nick Fitzgerald is the quarterback of the second team. I mean, he's talented, man. I mean, good quarterback play in this league can add some definite significance to your win-loss total. And I mean, Nick Fitzgerald, I don't know, like you said, about the pieces around Mississippi State, how much more of an impact, but he is a talented player. And you said he reminds you a lot of Nick Marshall, kind of the way he plays.
Well, not necessarily that. The question, though, for Nick Fitzgerald is he's 1,400-yard rusher.
Yeah.
Can they make up some rushing yards from elsewhere?
Do you think he throws the ball pretty well?
He's got a big arm, but I don't know that he's got a lot of Nick Marshall.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Esque abilities. I mean, so Mississippi State needs to throw the ball better than they did that last year, and I don't think anybody would question that.
That's right. Scarborough and Petway, the second team running backs, like you said, man, you're talking about some great running backs on this list, all the way even down to the third team. Highlights there, Alabama has Bradley Bozeman on the second team. Auburn, outside of Petway, that's it. So Alabama with 2 second-team offensive guys, Auburn with 1. We'll flash over to the second-team defense. Auburn, Marlon Davidson. Man, the sky's the limit for that kid. He was impressive last year. Alabama has Sean Dion Hamilton, linebacker from Montgomery. Also Trey Williams and Trey Matthews there from Auburn, along with Carlton Davis. So Auburn with 4 second-team defensive guys. So Auburn kind of catching up. Some solid players there on defense there for Auburn this year.
I think it's the strength. Outside of the wild card with Jared Stidham.
That's right.
Making the difference for Auburn offensively and on the team, period. Defense could be a real strength, could be a top 10 type of defense for Auburn this year. When you look at 5 in the top 2 teams, all SEC going into the season, so right at half.
It's pretty good.
With Auburn. That's a problem. Oh, well, it's a good problem, not one we've had in quite a while.
That's exactly right. Third team offense. You look over, Austin Allen gets the nod rather than the quarterback from Missouri. I mean, that's saying something. They said, a lot of reporters this week said Austin Allen's got that it factor about him. You know, I don't know where.
Jake Bentley.
Yeah, Jake Bentley. I just think it's a little early. He only had half the season last year.
I saw as much of him as I needed to see compared to Austin Allen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But he gets the nod there. Ralph Webb, the talented running back from Vanderbilt, and Sony Michel from Georgia. So Georgia's got 2 of the 6 first, second, and third team running backs back there together. Again, nobody shocked by that. Alabama with Lester Cotton on the offensive line on the third team. Auburn with no third team offensive guys. Third team defense, Auburn, Dontavius Russell on the defensive line. Anthony Averett back there in the secondary for Alabama, along with Tony Brown back there for Alabama. So Alabama with 2 third team defensive guys, Auburn with 1 third team defensive guy. And that rounds out the first, second, third team offense and defense. On special teams, J.K. Scott's your punter from Alabama, and Auburn has Daniel Carlson as the place kicker. Both of them dominated that in the vote getting. And then Christian Kirk is your all-purpose player and return specialist. Both of those go to Texas A&M's Christian Kirk. So Kerryon Johnson gets third team specialist on all-purpose guy. So, I think that's about where he fits right now. He's been an injury-prone type guy, Randy, and but he's got a lot of talent, and he's proven that he's a physical guy. So he's another weapon back there in the backfield.
He's a good piece. Productive guy. Is he explosive? Probably not. But can make plays and has good footwork. Just is not the explosive player that you see with a couple of these that you go, man, give him just a little bit of a window, and he's going to take it. And,
absolutely. No doubt.
We'll take him.
Some asterisks here, some top things to mention. The top vote getters in this year's 2017 all SEC teams were Minka Fitzpatrick from Alabama, Calvin Ridley from Alabama, and Darius Guys from LSU. So 2 of the top 3 vote getters go to Alabama players. I know you're not shocked there. Since 2000, Arkansas's Darren McFadden is the only unanimous selection to the SEC Media Days first team at his position, collecting all possible votes that year. Does that shock you that Darren McFadden is the only guy that's ever garnered? I mean, there's been, think about the players that have come through. Only one that's garnered every single, that's hard to do now. That's hard to become or to get every single vote possible out there.
Did he finish runner-up in the Heisman
He
twice?
He did.
Both years.
Mm-hmm. And then he also had Felix Jones back there with him. So Felix Jones wasn't anything to sneeze at. Since 1992, the most players on a first team prior to this year's vote was 9 by Alabama in 2011 and 8 by Alabama in 2010 and Florida in 2009. So Alabama has twice had 9 in 11 and then 8 in 2010 with one with Florida. That is, you have to reread that and make sure that's not a typo, man. I mean, that's why I kind of look stunned a little bit. I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, that's just domination at its finest until somebody can step up there. And we'll take our last break, and we're going to end with a little rank 'em. This happens to be where Andy shows his true colors in the rank 'em game. It's amazing some of the stuff he comes up with. Stay tuned. Final segment coming your way right after this.
Start the new year in a new Honda at Sarah Honda of Sylacauga. Like a new Civic for just $172 a month during our first big sale of the year at Sarah Honda of Sylacauga on Highway 280.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Hey, it's Steve from the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn, and after 10 years of serving the good people of East Alabama and West Georgia, we're still doing business the same way, offering the best products at the best prices with the area's best warranties and installing them with the area's best technicians. With great customer service, a knowledgeable sales staff, and our commitment to customer satisfaction, along with the best selection of the latest technology in the industry, there's no reason to shop anywhere else. Shop with confidence. Shop at the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn.
When you're born, you're really young. You're like 0 years old. My grandma tells me to quit growing up so fast. But what can I do about it? My mom keeps throwing me birthday parties.
Russell Medical, comprehensive care in your corner of the world.
Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. At Walls, you'll find a dedicated staff offering top quality service from routine maintenance to a full engine overhaul and everything in between. Brian Walls and the folks at Walls Tire are local folks that you know, and they provide the best service always at a fair price. Find out what the rest of the Lake Martin area already knows. Walls Tire is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. Just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Get out and go in a new Altima, just $18,988. During the Nissan Now sales event, a new 2017 Altima is just $18,988 at Sarah Nissan of Sylacauga.
Last segment of the show, and another Sports Blitz game. We always end our shows with rank 'em, and what we do is we just rank these in order to how we feel like, 1 to 5. So I'll start, Randy, and speaking of Randy, these are middle of the pack Auburn quarterbacks. How would you rank them 1 to 5? Randy Campbell, Jeff Berger, Reggie Slack, Pat Nix, and Brendan Cox.
All right, I'm going with Reggie Slack 1.
Okay.
Randy Campbell 2. Pat Nix 3. Berger 4. Brandon Cox 5.
Okay. I'm going to go Reggie Slack 1, Brandon Cox 2, Pat Nix 3, Jeff Berger 4, and Randy Campbell, me turn around, hand the ball off to Bo Jackson, number 5. So there's your middle of the pack quarterbacks there. Fruit. You a fruit guy? You like fruit?
Yep.
Apple, orange, banana, strawberry, or watermelon? Go.
Strawberry, banana, orange, apple, watermelon.
There we go. I'm going to go watermelon first.
We are
orange,
way off.
Yeah, we are. Orange second, strawberry third, banana fourth, and apple fifth.
Okay.
And I like apple pie, favorite, and it's fifth, but I don't like just
Good
sitting
luck
there
with
and
this
apple.
next.
Rocker chicks from the 80s and 70s and 60s and on beyond. Hart, Pat Benatar, Joan Jett, the Bengals, Stevie Nicks. This is right up Andy Graham's alley right here.
Stevie Nicks.
Oh, yeah.
Hart. Joan Jett. Benatar. And I have no earthly idea why the Bengals made it anywhere near this list, but I'll put them dead
Do you
last.
classify them as rocker chicks? I'm going to go Stevie Nicks, Pat Benatar, Joan Jett, Hart, and the Bengals. So we're pretty close on that.
Yeah.
I like that. So hard to beat Stevie Nicks. Kurt Russell movies. You like Kurt Russell movies? We got to like them today. Tombstone, Big Trouble in Little China, Backdraft, Miracle, Escape from New York.
I'm starting with the first two and then letting you choose from the other 3 duds.
There's
But
one that's a dominant here.
Tombstone
by
is,
far.
And Backdraft's a good movie.
Backdraft's good. I'm going to leave it at that, too.
The rest of them,
Big Trouble in Little China.
them wherever
no.
you
Escape
want.
from New York. No.
I'd have to have nothing left to watch.
Miracle's
okay. I can watch Miracle.
Yeah.
It's 3.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
But Tombstone's so far above everybody. That's such a great movie. He does such a great job in that movie, too. Tennis shoes. What's your favorite? Nike, Reebok, New Balance, Brooks, Skechers. First of all, I've never owned a pair of Skechers, so I'm out on that.
I'm going to go with New Balance,
Okay.
Nike, and put them other 3.
They didn't even have Under Armour. I'd have put Under Armour before I put Skechers on.
All right, I put Reebok, then Brooks, then Skechers. Brooks were hot for about a
You know who?
1-year span.
You know who the famous NBA player was that signed a contract with Brooks? Because I had a pair of them.
Who?
Dominique Wilkins. I had a pair of Dominique Wilkins Brooks shoes.
Red with some yellow, I'm guessing?
That's right. That's it, buddy. Dominique Wilkins. All right, here's a good one then.
We're going to be polar opposites.
This is no description needed for these guys. Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, and George Jones.
Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Merle Haggard, George Jones, and Johnny Cash bringing Dead Up the Rear.
And I'm going to bring Willie Nelson first, Johnny Cash second, George Jones third, Waylon Jennings fourth, and Merle Haggard fifth.
I knew we would be polar opposite there.
So that's how.
How is Johnny Cash not one on your list? You listen to more Johnny Cash.
I like
Will,
but I know Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson. I listen to a lot of Willie Nelson too. You can go out there and see what the greatest.
You've been on a 2 or 3 year.
I love Johnny Cash. Oh yeah, I still listen to Johnny Cash. I love the Man in Black.
I figured he'd be one. So.
Well,
okay.
I could. It's probably a tie between Willie. Willie Nelson's just. He's a go-to guy. But those guys, what a phenomenal 5 country music singers right there.
Sun Festival events going on in the Lake Martin area. I know there's a 5K going on maybe now or maybe over with. But, make sure to pick up a schedule of events or find them on social media and get out and support. I know you're active in multiple, and I am as well, and we're looking forward to it.
It's going to be a great week. Folks, we have enjoyed it. As always, we hope you have. We'll see you next Tuesday for more Sports Blitz programming.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, Sign Source, Lee Apparel, R&B Media, and LMG Baker Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design and branding to ad placement and everything in between, LMG can handle it all. For ease of time, cutting-edge, results-driven marketing campaigns, think LMG. Lee Marketing Group, your comprehensive marketing solution.
When you need plumbing service, call on the professionals at A&M Plumbing LLC. For over 20 years, our mission has been to provide the best possible service available in the industry, and we specialize in solving difficult problems. We offer a wide range of services, such as installation, service, repair and replacement of common fixtures, water heaters, toilets, faucets, drains, sewer lines, and septic tank pumping and cleaning services. Unlike many companies, our septic tank services include field line testing. Our knowledgeable staff will be happy to answer any of your questions. So call A&M Plumbing LLC today.
A1 Four Seasons, a division of Jackson Refrigeration, is Central Alabama's Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer. With the summer months approaching, the temperatures are rising, and so will your power bill if you don't have one of the latest 410A heat pumps. With R22 Freon prices on the rise, now is the time to make the switch to a new, more efficient unit that will save you hundreds of dollars on your yearly power bill. Call A1 Four Seasons at 256-234-4457.
Your comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's train dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our #1 concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Lake Area Realty is Lake Martin's Century 21 real estate company that proudly serves all the Lake Martin area. Rhonda Gaskin and her staff of caring professional realtors offers full sales for buyers and sellers in the area and can even help you with finding rentals or managing your current property. Whether it's your dream lake home, waterfront property, area family home in town, or just a starter home, Lake Area Realty can handle it all and advise you on all your needs. Buying and selling real estate is important to the professionals at Century 21. Lake Area Realty are your friends in real estate. Call or visit lakearearealty.net.